brasses.
I wasn't done for the night. I was just gonna restart up a new stream. I was tempted not to stream at all today, but... Oh shit, I hit the wrong thing. Oh. Anyone hear that fart? What's funny is, let me turn the camera on. Is that everything said there I said was truthful. But it was all deflected. I guess I have to accept that has posted a statement video. Yeah, and then you're going to bring it up. I mean, I'll talk about it. Believe me, nothing's off the table with me. So. Yeah, it's just a very strange thing to me that you could be proven to lie and people still don't care. It's a very odd, very, very odd phenomenon. I look at like preachers and Jim Baker too. Like, you're caught with evidence. The motherfucker went to, I don't know about Peter Popoff, motherfucker went to prison, but it's all about affirmation. And so it's just like, why even? And then he just flips it around and makes profit off of it. I don't know. I just have to let this terrible shit just fizzle away. He'll have his Milo Yiannopoulos moment. He'll have it. He'll eventually trip over his own feet. I don't know. Never got the water. I got a letter from him and never got the water. So that's just how I have to look at it. There's just something that people want to hear right now, and nothing's going to snap them out of it. You could have all the receipts in the world. You know, oh, I assure you I do that generally I've done that before with streams, where if there's a topic, I cut the topic. Yeah, and they go, and it's the same thing over and over again. What's up, Zach Talks Tech? No, because what if I talk about this on my main channel? It'll just cause nothing but turmoil. I won't do it. You know, and it's just amazing. You're sitting there spitting facts, and it's just like, okay, so I just have to repeat what the person's saying, and that just gets me off the hook. Nah, I didn't rage quit. It's just a very odd. I saw this coming with Milo Yiannopoulos. He hung on to the whole whatever the fuck Gamergate is. Why wouldn't I? No, you don't think it's going to be bought? Oh my God, if I could talk, brought up, Grant, I'll absolutely talk about it. Nothing is off the table with me. Yeah, people tune in for blood and entertainment, and they just want their side to win. Thank you, True Imagine. Yeah, I don't even know. It's just an incredible thing. I guess that's what it's about. Is that it's just a blood sport, and they don't really, as long as their team wins, then so be it. So, had other issues today with technical shit again. What did he get rated now? It's Trump's not in custody, is he? Breaking, they found nothing on Trump. We're fishing. Yes, I'm going to talk about that tomorrow, Google Fish. I'm going to talk about that. Hey, Rich, quick question. I'm helping a friend upgrade his PC storage, but doesn't have any more SATA power plugs. I discovered there are splitters that increases the number of plugs. I was wondering if you use them. I have, and I'm usually not a fan of splitters. Just make sure the power supply has enough overhead. Dylan, thank you for the bacon and the cucumbers. Is he talking about Trump being raided? We should look at that, man. Trump raided. There's something more than 51 fucking seconds. Why they have quotes around it? I'm sure if I watch this. Oh, yeah, it was amazing in 2012, Golden Knight. And Dylan Bacon, thank you for the bacon and cucumbers.
With the archives. The National Archives is a federal agency. It has its own inspector general, its own internal inspector and investigator when they think there is a mishandling of federal records. And yes, White House records are to be with the National Archives. That's the investigation that we know the Trump team has been cooperating with because the archives said so.
Who treats you like and dealing with YouTube I'm subscribed to it, I suspect treats me like a. What happens, Si? Who treats you like that? Yes, I'll give you your shoulders.
Your shoulders. Your shoulders.
Oh, the screen. You don't have screen. I need a transition for this so I don't look like a fucking bum. CBS is probably going to claim this video. Who gives a fuck? Oh, look, monetization's on because I forgot again.
So, former President Trump in that statement
I'll change that.
says there has been cooperation, which is why he's questioning
rights management.
Inappropriate that a search warrant would be executed at his
There
home.
we go.
All right. I want to bring in now Zeke Miller. He is a White House correspondent he is the White House correspondent for the Associated Press. He's also a contributor to CBS News. Zeke, we just heard Scott say that the archives say that the former president has been cooperating.
Hank, I don't like people that can just get away with lies with no repercussions. So don't worry. I'm sure I'll talk about it plenty more when I go on Joffy's show.
But we also know that many records that are usually kept by White House staff have been missing. What more can you tell us?
You know, it's not just that these records were kept by Trump after he left the White House. It's that some of those records, according to the archives and others, and some of the independent referrals that have been taking place afterwards, appear to have been classified. And that's the other wrinkle here as well. That there's the Presidential Records Act, which governs. And
that's as loud as it is. I think it. No, it's not.
They're the custody of the American people, of the federal government, for posterity. But then there's also potentially the separate issue of classification. And there's a whole separate regime that exists for how to maintain classified documents. And we all learned a whole lot about that back in 2016 when then candidate.
Razor Fist is a piece of shit. He had a fucking tantrum because of the fact that I tweeted something about Michael Jackson back in the day. I tweeted an article written, and he lost his fucking mind and called me every name under the sun. He could go fuck himself.
Donald Trump made a lot of hay over former.
But besides that, he's a great guy.
Secretary of State Hillary Clinton.
What's up, NYT Mom?
Of a private email system and of government records, and then also potentially some classified communications that took place on that system. So, there's, if this is ultimately what is behind the execution of the search warrant, there's sort of certain irony to all of that.
He blocked you on Twitter. I find that so funny that they'll. He's a dick.
One of the things that that those records have to.
Oh, Kyle Kulinski wiped the floor with them too. Even people that don't like Kyle Kulinski said that Kyle Kulinski wiped the floor with them.
We maintain in a very specific way, depending on the classification level, including specific types of safes rated by
pretty much
federal agencies to ensure that they comply with government standards. Any of those.
He started having a tantrum with Kyle Kulinski, how like Keemstar had a tantrum with me.
Things could be relevant to potentially building a case regarding the handling of those documents if that reporting is clear. It might not even be just fine.
Simon Peter, because it's a grift. I don't know what else to say.
These specific documents that may be missing. It's also investigating the even the setting with which documents that had previously been turned over to the archives were kept for the purpose of establishing, how those documents were treated after the president left office.
Thank you, Zeke. We'll come back to you with some more questions. I also want to report that Nicole Killian says that the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th attack on the Capitol says it will not be commenting on this search warrant. I want to bring in now Jessica Levinson. She is a CBS News legal contributor. Jessica, we heard from Jeff Pegues that this really is
dodging a bullet if he does. See if any kind of criminal record slapped on him, though. I'll still believe it when I see it.
Is unprecedented.
So the monetization's off anyway. Let them claim it. They want to make 5 cents off of it. Let them make their 5 cents.
We also heard from the former president saying nothing like this has ever happened to a president of the United States before. Give us some more information about why the FBI would be going into the former president's home at a time when, according to our sources, he wasn't there.
Simply put, because they're looking for evidence, not necessarily a person, but they're looking for potentially, as you've been reporting, documents. So what do we need for a warrant like this, the reporting I'm seeing for potentially a no-knock warrant? What they need is probable cause that there was a federal crime that was committed and probable cause that the evidence of that crime is where they say it was, in this case at Mar-a-Lago. So we don't need the president or the former president for this particular search warrant. What we need are the documents, and that makes
wow, my air conditioner's off and it's still not hot in here. It's very strange.
Perfect sense given the reporting that you've done so far, which is that this could be about the Federal Records Act, that this could be about the documents, not just run-of-the-mill documents, which obviously need to be stored in the National Archives, but potentially even classified documents. I think there are a couple of reasons why that reporting makes a lot of sense, and that this isn't, for instance, necessarily about the...
Yes, I was just on there. And he deflected the fact that he tried to cancel me, and he brought up the Meta PCs thing. It's all that happened. I'll pay you $1,000 to file 3, an extra 100 if you make it look like you tried to keep it a fart, but ended. Yeah, I'm not farting and shitting in jars. Thank you. What's the shower called where they beat you? A Turkish bath? Thank you very much, Swag Bay, and thank you for being a member.
Fake elector scheme or something else directly connected to January 6th. Now, obviously, this...
No, I am not farting and shitting in a jar. Thank you.
This is breaking. I think it's been less than an hour that we've heard about this. but it is a very big deal. We had a federal magistrate judge that had to sign off on this search warrant. Again, probable cause that a federal crime was committed.
What's up,
you have to point
Chantel?
to
How
a
are you?
specific part of the federal code, and probable cause that the evidence of the crime is where they are executing the search warrant. It's not proof beyond a reasonable doubt, but it is big.
I want to bring back in Jeff Pegues now. We have him back on the phone. Jeff, we heard Jessica say that they need to have probable cause that the information that they're looking for is in fact there. What more are you learning about what the FBI may have gleaned or actually left with when they vacated Mar-a-Lago?
This may cause a fucking civil war. If he gets a felony and can't run. Now, I kind of think it'd end up being DeSantis anyway. Thank God. But right now, he catches a felony that means he can't run for a political office. Simon Peter and Horatio Brew member, 3 months. Thank you for both becoming members. Appreciate that. Damn. Appreciate it. Get a claim. It'll get a claim. Look, if they want to claim it, put a couple ads on it. If you see ads in this video, you know why. The monetization is off. If the monetization has been on in previous streams, it is not because I'm breaking the promise. I'm just an idiot and it automatically sets it to on.
Well, CBS News has confirmed that the search warrant served on Mar-a-Lago in West Palm Beach is related to the missing documents investigation.
But if you see ads of this, like I'm looking right now, monetization is off. I have to piss. Yeah, I'm fine. It's just strange. And I guess I just have to stop being a naive fucking idiot and just accept it that there's people that just want someone to reaffirm what they believe and they don't want the truth. I just have to... it just is amazing to me that exists, but I guess that's how cults exist. You know, there's an interesting video. I don't know, maybe we'll watch that on how, and I'm not comparing Jeremy, for fuck's sake, please, but the point is valid. How Adolf Hitler got a hold on people the way he did. And you gave a bunch of people that are disillusioned an illusion to believe and believe it's real. Yeah, Trump looks like he wants my asshole right there. Anyway, I'm going to go piss. And I'll be right back. tumbler go? Do I not have a tumbler up here? Shit. Oh, this is risky. This is risky business. Did I call? Yeah, I called in to Jeremy, and he answered nothing, and brought up Meta PCs, and that was it. That was literally what happened. Stream's still up if you want to go check it out. I stopped it after and started a new stream. So, I'll come with more interesting stuff with receipts. Now the heat's turned up. For Jeremy on Thursday. I'll be more prepared. and he won't be there with whataboutisms.
As we've outlined over the last
Their moment during. No. But there was still the dream of him becoming, if they know by law he can't become president again, shit may break down. You know, I'm just throwing this out there, but when the FBI raided Jeffrey Epstein's home, he ended up in prison. He was once thought untouchable. We'll see. I don't believe it, though.
last several minutes, there are several investigations that the former president is connected to. But that is the one.
That is a scary fucking image of him. Holy shit. Yo, he looks like someone fucking put silly putty and put a wig on it.
Try to relax your anus. Your anus. Your shoulders.
Breasts.
Try to relax your anus.
Breasts.
Your anus.
Actually,
your anus.
here. I'll give you some protein bar chewing ASMR. Thank you, Cypress. Ray, would you like some? Here. There's some, I know some great Rays. Ray. Ray, you liking this? Here. It's ASMR for you, Ray. Ray, some good shit. Like in the ASMR, Ray. 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 Doing just fine, sir. Would you like some more ASMR, Ray? Ray?
Breasts.
Ray?
Breasts.
Try to relax your anus. Try to relax your anus.
You got one more bite, Ray. I'm almost done. Almost done, Ray. Davey, I'm eating ass. John, I don't care. Welcome back. No. It's a meal replacement bar because I didn't really eat. I didn't eat fucking dinner. Could you imagine I ate a Snickers? Ray. I'm almost done chewing, Ray. Want some birds? Ray didn't fucking leave. Ray's still here in spirit. Here, wash that down with some coffee. Yeah, Ray probably got freaked the fuck out. Flashback Turtle, I would tell you if I Google Trump's toilet. Why? What the fuck is that buzzing? That was the Mario Paint music. Then there's the... Oh, we got to get out the other Mario Paint song. I'm high as hell. Hold on.
One that started in February or so of this year. So earlier this year, it's been ongoing.
I got a story. OST, I gotta find it. Want to hear? Oh yeah, the other Ray. Hold on. Opening. Where's the save music? Where's the save music? Fuck. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, here we go. Okay. This is going to probably be the most ridiculous thing. I'm probably going to self-cancel myself right now. Every time me and my friend used to play this song, we used to pretend to fuck each other in the ass. I mean, nothing like not naked or anything, fully clothed. But every time this fucking song played, we would pretend to plow each other in the ass. I don't know why, but that was a thing. Oh God. Oh man. Anyway, back to Trump and Mar-a-Lago. Did you know that the Mario Paint song was composed by the same guy? Yes, I actually think I did due to the nerd video, or I could be wrong where I learned it from.
For several months now. And we have at the...
Rich pretended to fuck his friend in the ass exposed.
Former president's property is FBI agents serving this warrant looking for more information, more potential evidence. You know, as you know, and you probably...
Yeah, like going up and try humping Trump. I missed my super chat. Did I really? I am all out of sorts tonight. I should have rethought everything this evening. I was too stoned for all of it. DSP streams aren't good because he isn't playing games he actually wants to play. He only plays what's popular. I doubt he wanted to play oh, he's so not a Persona person. He's so not a Persona person. My video on him tomorrow is going to be so fun.
Many of you who are watching this program, perhaps listening to this program.
Composite Frag got me. Every time we heard the Mario Paint theme, we were butt fucking. Right in the hole, fist in the ass. And it was just...
Spread your cheeks and go to town.
Matter of fact, we're going to go back and let's... Here, it was just like this.
Breasts. 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 Breasts.
I'm out of my fucking mind, man. Please say, Chris, put a bird in my ass. 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 Put a bird in my ass.
Breasts. 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 Breasts.
This shit's out of control. All right, let's get serious now. This is a serious situation.
Have seen some of the most recent reporting today that the former president...
Today... tickle my ass.
Are images of documents.
Mario Pate brings out the true friendship in all of us, to the point that you'll pretend to fuck your friend at the end. Again, swear to God, fully clothed. And with that, nothing was coming. It was just like, hey, pretend. Hey, the Mario Pate theme, we're saving a picture. Come pretend to butt fuck me. I don't understand. I don't understand how that equated. I don't understand. Oh, God. Oh, God.
In toilets. And so the former president had a reputation for tearing up and...
Wait. All right, let's look up the Donald Trump toilets. Richard derailing. I know I'm derailing. I should ban myself. All right, I'm gonna look up Kyle. Donald Trump toilets. Got protein bar on my mouse pad. See the toilets? Tremendous toilets. Wait, what is going on? What is this? What is this lunacy? Remember our toilet scoop in Axios. Maggie Haberman's forthcoming book about former President Tremendous Trump will report that White House residents staff periodically found wads of paper clogging the toilet tremendously, and believe the former president and notorious destroyer of Oval Office documents was the flusher. Well, it turns out there are photos, and they are published for the first time. Who obtained the photos recently shared them. Haberman, who obtained the photos recently, shared them with us on October 4th publication of her book, Confidence Man, The Making of Donald Tremendous Nipples Trump and the Breaking of America, Believe Me. A Trump White House source tells her the photo of the left shows a commode in the White House. The photo on the right is an overseas trip, according to a source. You have to be pretty desperate to sell books if pictures of a paper in a toilet bowl... No, well, I have to read this like Trump. You have to... All right, hold on. You have to be pretty desperate to sell books if pictures of paper in a toilet bowl is part of your promotional plan. It sounds like a complete failure to me.
Breasts.
What, how many broken seats, too? Yeah. Drummer punk. Oh, my God. Son. We know that's enough to people willing to fabricate lies like this in order to impress the media class. A media class who's willing to run with anything as long as it's anti-Trump. The new evidence is a reminder that despite the flood of Trump books, Haberman is hotly anticipated in Trump world. Okay. Oh, Donald. Donald. Believe me.
Flushing White House documents down toilets. You know, and so this missing document case involves, potentially top secret classified information. And so that's in part what this investigation is about. And we're also told by our sources.
God, the line right here kind of sounds like Bill Clinton. Yeah, I would go down to Epstein Island and spread loads all over their titties.
Even though the former president characterizes this as a raid.
I probably should stop being mean. It kind of sounds like the guy on the phone. Now that I'm thinking of it, he may have Parkinson's because it could make your voice sound like that. So I'll stop.
we have multiple sources telling us that that is, this image of FBI agents coming into the club with guns drawn is not accurate. This is an operation that has been described to us as run-of-the-mill. In other words, the FBI agents involved were professional in how they handled this. Now, that said, this is obviously an unusual situation. I don't know if we've ever seen a former president's home where there has been a search warrant served on a former president's home. As I said earlier, perhaps we'll have to get a historian to look at this, because I don't even think it happened to former President Nixon, then President Nixon, but I could be wrong. But regardless, this is an unusual situation. And, frankly, I can understand why the former president would be upset. However, these are investigators doing their job. You have this ongoing investigation. And so just to reiterate, CBS News has now confirmed that the search warrant carried out at the former president's residence in Florida, Mar-a-Lago, is not related to the January 6th investigations, but our sources, well-placed sources who would know this kind of information, we are being told now, multiple sources, that this is related to the missing documents case, Lana. And by the way, before I go, we've reached out to the Department of Justice, we've reached out to the FBI, and they are not commenting on what has happened.
Very important reporting, Jeff, that this...
I'm just concerned. I mean, I would be thankful if he caught a felony and couldn't run. I don't think he'll get jail time. I think they would get some kind of criminal charge and naughty, because I think if they put him in jail, that would definitely cause riots to start. But I don't know. I'm mixed. It's strange. Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
This is in fact related to missing documents, not related necessarily to any of the other investigations that others' minds may be going to. But the Presidential Records Act of 1978 changed the classification of presidential records from private to public, that these are in fact something that belongs to the American people, that must be archived in an appropriate way. And as we have seen from multiple reporting, that the Trump administration did not, it appears, follow those requirements. I want to bring back in CBS News congressional correspondent Nicole Killian. Nicole, what more are you learning?
Well, we are hearing from some people close to the former president, some of his advisors and aides who are describing this FBI activity as ridiculous and political, also confirming that this is related to the Presidential Records Act. But these are people who are in touch regularly with the former president. One source who has been on calls for the last half hour or so regarding this and telling our political director, Finn Gomez, when have you heard about a raid because of the Presidential Records Act? Now, as Jeff pointed out, this was not
Is this a first?
Raid in the sense of guns drawn, but more a run-of-the-mill search warrant as it is being described to us, but still clearly some, response and reaction from the former president's team, as we also saw his statement, which
Now, look, I think it would be a good thing if he can't run again. I just hope it doesn't set off anything. I want him to catch a felony. Again, I almost guarantee he will never step foot in a jail. But I wonder if they found 2 Corinthians in this Trump safe today. I'm not sure what you mean by that.
confirmed that this federal activity was taking place. And of course, this comes on the heels of the former president, really trying to get back in the game politically. He was just in Dallas over the weekend at a conservative conference, CPAC, where he won overwhelming.
I think that probably is, not saying it's definitely going to happen, their ultimate goal is to try to get it so he can't run again.
Presidential straw poll there for 2024 by 69% of the participants who attended that conference. This is often kind of gives you an early temperature gauge of support for candidates and kind of where they may stand. And again, at this point in time, the former president receiving a lot of overwhelming support there and continuing to tease a possible presidential run. So how this could potentially impact those plans remains to be determined, again, as we learn more about the nature of this investigation, but clearly, certainly probably not the press that the former president is seeking as he looks to not only perhaps reconsider a future presidential run, but also, we are just a couple of months away from the midterms where the former president has been actively campaigning for candidates across the board. In fact, we've got another primary coming up in Wisconsin tomorrow where the former president is backing a candidate for governor there against another candidate for governor that his former vice president, Mike Pence, is backing. So, we have kind of seen this proxy war, if you will, between the former president and former vice president when it comes to different candidates. Saw this last week with respect to the Arizona primary and the gubernatorial race there. So again, with this activity at his residence in Mar-a-Lago, does that kind of damage some of that political capital going forward, whether it's in his stumping for candidates or, again, in assessing his own political future? And again, that will remain to be seen.
It'll be interesting. Oh, I didn't mean to mute
point.
Even if he doesn't even catch a felony, because there's a very good chance he won't catch anything. I wonder if this is mostly just to make him seem so fucking ridiculously toxic that there's 0% chance he could ever get a nod again.
About the timing, Nicole. I'm wondering if we can bring back in Zeke Miller, who has experience at the White House and had followed the last presidential contest and the one before that. On that question of timing that Nicole is talking to, because our CBS News political director, Finn Gomez, sources have told him that this is expressly political. Zeke, what does it mean in terms of timing for this warrant to be executed now?
We've seen a lot, certainly in the last two presidential elections, that the Department of Justice tries to maintain its independence and try to make it by not taking any overt actions. Certainly in the run-up to a presidential election. Former President Donald Trump is not a declared candidate for 2024 right now. There have been reports that he was potentially using an announcement now. The timing of this could potentially be, to get ahead of that potential announcement, so then they are not taking this action. They're taking this action against a private citizen, not a repeat presidential aspirant, which could very well be the case,
Yeah, wouldn't that make him immune from any, which is very weird. I don't know the law exactly, so just relax, but doesn't that make him immune from any kind of investigation like this, or make it next to impossible?
Potentially any day now, given some of the reporting out there. So there's that factor to this. The other, my sources in the current White House, the Biden White House, say they were totally unaware that this was going on, and are referring all comments to the Department of Justice as this White House is trying to make sort of a very overt display of their hands-off nature of the Department of Justice.
No, it was Caitlin Bennett.
the last President Trump's, sort of attempts, more heavy-handed attempts to direct investigations there. So the politics is all through this. But in terms of the actual law, there was a federal judge who had to sign off on this warrant for the search, and those are facts that are going to come out. They had to show probable cause to get that. So politics is a lot of the atmospherics here, but beneath that, it's sometimes it's difficult to set it aside. But setting all of that aside, there are some real allegations here. It seems that federal law enforcement officials are investigating.
Zeke, and this of course is breaking news, so you may not know the answer to this.
Yeah, I saw people bringing up her saying a lot. You wouldn't have even noticed it until people brought it up. It's weird, right?
But as you raise this point, we have been waiting to see if the former president is going to announce another run for the White House. Does it make a difference if he is a declared presidential candidate versus a private citizen?
It probably does not, because the Department of Justice's internal guidance, they've referred back to the past couple of election cycles, sort of puts that special sensitivity surrounding these sorts of investigations to high-profile political figures. That generally kicks in, weeks or months before an election. It's not, we're months from the midterm elections, not the 2024 presidential race. But then there's also the most important decision maker in all of this, which is, former President Trump himself.
His mouth is absolutely, I mean, I know technically the same kind of muscles as a butthole, but his mouth literally looks like a butthole. Like, yo, hold on. Look at here.
Presidential race. But then there's also the most important decision maker in all of this, which.
Look at that thing. Why does it go? Why does it move like that? Tremendous rectum. Believe me, it looks like a butthole.
Which is, former President Trump himself. Does this affect his timing in terms of what he will do? That's certainly something we'll all be looking at chase down in the next few weeks. He's currently getting support from the Republican National Committee for some of his legal bills around the January 6th investigations and other ones. If he were to become a declared candidate, that spigot would likely get turned off because of campaign finance rules. So that's been one of the things keeping him from declaring a repeat candidacy. So it'll be certainly one of the reporting lines of many as we sort of process the aftermath of this search warrant, the execution of that search warrant.
I want to head back over to Scott McFarlane, who has been working his sources. Scott very rightfully pointed out from the very beginning, when we first heard about this from the former president, that we did not know what investigation it might be related to. We have now learned from Jeff Pegues and multiple sources confirming to CBS News that this is related to missing documents. Scott, what more have you learned?
Well, it's also worth remembering the National Archives, which is in charge of those documents, is supposed to have those documents, formally requested the Justice Department to investigate this and investigate the missing records. And
it's amazing he would try to flush them down a toilet.
Did so 6 months ago in early February. So there is that connection, that connective tissue between the archives requesting an investigation and a search warrant being executed into those missing records. It's also worth underscoring this issue of the missing documents from Mar-a-Lago has also been the subject of a congressional investigation, not by the January 6th Select Committee, but by the U.S. House Oversight Committee. They've been looking into this as well. I note this because it just underscores the volume of investigations that have some nexus to Donald Trump. Not just law enforcement investigations, not just federal, not just local, not just state, but also congressional. So there are parallel investigations into these records. And now, 6 months after the archives requested it, we get this confirmation the Justice Department executed a search warrant about those missing boxes of records.
Scott, as you point out, this started in February. It has been ongoing, but it's also been augmented, questions about missing emails, in part because of the January 6th investigation and questions about the president's Secret Service detail and missing missing text messages
sure it
and all
does,
that.
gun killer.
Might that have contributed, or is this really something that is in its own lane?
The Justice Department will say it investigates the facts wherever they may lead. It does so independently of any pressures from Congress or from the White House. Let's leave that baseline right there. But the January 6th Select Committee is a great example of how investigations begin in a certain spot and you don't know where they're going to go or how they're going to spread into territory that was unimagined when the investigation began. So if a search warrant is executed at Mar-a-Lago, there's no point certain as to where that investigation will end. It will go wherever the facts may lead.
Pretty much.
Investigations by federal law enforcement tend to sprawl. They tend to grow. The search warrant's going to be key, signed by a federal judge. I'll underscore this point I made earlier. Search warrants in the federal system are public documents filed with U.S. district courthouses across the country, signed by federal judges. They are, in fact, public records, but they're often sealed when they're executed on a business, on a property, on a person, on a phone, on a piece of property. So this search warrant appears to be sealed. Our initial searches, the federal courts in Florida, in New York, in New Jersey, and D.C. don't show it. That's not uncommon. But if a case is filed, civil, criminal, or otherwise, from anybody or against anybody related to
still hasn't
Mar-a-Lago,
answered anything.
those search warrants tend to come out through the
Google
process.
Fish. He hasn't answered a single thing.
I really appreciate that additional information. And as you say, Scott, when an investigation starts, it may go in multiple different directions. If you are just now joining us, we have learned that the former president, President Trump, has had a search warrant executed at his residence in Mar-a-Lago. We have learned that it is related to missing federal documents, and that the president was not there, or the former president was not there at the time, and that the current president was not given advance notice. I want to go back one more time to Jessica Levinson. Jessica, we heard Scott say that a search warrant may lead in multiple different directions. Might we expect that this is now going to take us to other residences of the former president?
Well, the answer, which I know is annoying, is that we don't know. And we've seen, for instance, throughout the January 6th investigation, that I think even the committee members have been surprised at times about where the evidence takes them. I have the suspicion in this case that maybe there was additional evidence that created this timeline, because there's been reporting, as you've discussed now for a while, that there were these 15 boxes, there were these documents that were improperly taken from the White House. There's been reporting that some of these documents were classified. Something happened to make this search warrant happen now. And I think that's one of the things that we want to try and find out. And could it lead to additional information? I think the answer is absolutely yes. It could either lead to evidence that the Department of Justice decides that it needs to look at other residences, at other offices. It could solidify their feeling that, in fact, there is not just probable cause, but they can show proof beyond a reasonable doubt that a federal crime occurred. So right now, all we know is that there was a search warrant, that a magistrate judge, a judge who tends to look at these issues very carefully, said, yes, I agree with you. There's probable cause that there was a specific federal crime that was committed. There's probable cause that the evidence of that specific federal crime is, in fact, at Mar-a-Lago. And again, the other thing we know is that these investigations, as Scott said, you don't always know which direction it takes. We're talking about, at this point, the removal of documents. We don't know, I think, exactly what was in all of those documents or why they were removed in the first place. All of that will be things that we're all watching very carefully. Of course, what could become public? What could become public is if there's actually an indictment that is filed against the former president or other members of his inner circle.
All right. A major breaking news story that we continue to follow. FBI officials have executed a warrant on the former president's home in Mar-a-Lago. We're going to take a quick break. We will continue following this story on the other side.
CBS News Sunday Morning with Jane Pauley on CBS.
Interesting. Wait, this is it?
You ready? a generation of kids opens up on CBS Reports.
I just want to be like a regular kid.
Their world, their struggles, their voices.
What if I was white?
A lot of people like to call names and make you feel ashamed for being proud of who you are.
Now streaming Gender.
I did not realize that you could change your gender.
Realizing how you feel.
You can be a boy, sometimes you feel like a girl, sometimes you feel like both.
Redefining who you are.
I identify as trans.
Gender fluid.
Non-binary and queer.
Is the idea of gender a thing of the past?
And to be yourself, always, no matter what anyone says, I love you.
Want to go someplace?
News and the Weather Channel have come together.
They really just have
to find solution.
Police in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Yes, they do. They do. Yeah, let's see if we can find something else on this. Trump raided by FBI. I don't really want to watch CNN or Fox News. Who is this guy? Who is Meet Kevin? There really isn't that much. Whatever. We'll go on to something different. No. Haven't they done this before? Maple Canadian Gaming? Haven't they done this before? Oh, we have sex bots here. Oh, this is a new Snort Burnell video. I'm gonna have to give in. Oh god.
It's time to play the game!
No, I didn't get the water yet. It's weird.
Oh my god! What the fuck?
Holy shit! That is an epic fucking intro, dude.
And I have to warn everyone. Warning. What you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, let's see if he quote tweets this. If you're wondering what I'm doing, ties into what happened with the quartering. He's saying we debated, we just got crushed. Fine. He should send me his play button. It's actually in my closet. If you want it, by all means. Answer now. It's real simple. Why did you lie about my family? Why did you post old social media screenshots about me? Was that to show support or to spread lies and cancel me? You have the podium now. Speak. So, Jeremy, quote tweet that one. What's your answer to those? That's all I was trying to ask you. Please explain why that was something that was okay for you to do, Mr. Arbiter of Truth. There you go.
Sound good?
Sounds good to me.
Please engage those videos. Please. I need you to engage those videos.
You'll never answer
because
it.
I need things such as likes on videos and comments. That is how YouTube sorts and orders videos. Seriously. Like right now, if someone else is playing a Batman Return to Arkham playthrough, if they get just a few more likes...
Oh, we've seen this. We've seen this. Trying to see if I have anything. But we now know. Here we go.
Killian, as well
Wait, no, we
as
just saw this.
our other congressional correspondent, Scott McFarland. They're both joining us from Washington. Nicole, we'll start with you. What more are you learning on this developing news story?
Well, we are getting some reaction from members of Congress, notably right now the House Judiciary Committee Republicans, and that committee is headed on the Republican side by Congressman.
Yeah, we've definitely already seen this already. No, I think I'm DSP'd out for the evening. I'm DSP's load. I think I'm actually going to call it quits early tonight because it's been a long fucking day of more technical issues. We have a 40-minute DSP video coming tomorrow. Maybe I'll do some TLC or QVC. Nah, maybe I'll do some QVC. All right, what am I? Let me see. Why am I typing in QVC and now Trump shit comes up? Now more Trump shit comes up. Really? I typed in QVC.
You hear that sound? It is the sound of the police. There appears to be an investigation by the feds into Mar-a-Lago, the home of Donald Trump, the twice impeached president and very much disgraced president. We're going to go to this news right now with Representative Mokana. Ro, are you here and have you heard this news that the former president, his residence, is now being investigated by the feds?
I have. It's obviously a very serious matter. I know President Trump issued a very lengthy defensive statement. But look, the FBI doesn't just go in unless a judge signs off on a search warrant. That means they have some probable evidence about possible wrongdoing. And it's something that the whole country needs to pay attention to, and shows that Attorney General Garland is setting this up step by step.
So this,
yeah, that echo is crazy.
This is the first question that occurs to me, and I think a lot of people watching right now is, how major is this as far as other members of sort of the Trump cabal? It's been one thing to talk about the former president. It's been one thing to bring in the Cohens and people associated with him. But for the FBI to actually be knocking down doors in his home, is this a time that Americans can believe that perhaps the orange jumpsuit is forthcoming? Because this doesn't seem to be common. What would be your take on that?
Don't blue ball us. Like,
well, I don't want to politicize.
It's just the basic. Put QVC and other shit. I put in Donald Trump. Nothing came up. I put in QVC.
It because I think Attorney General Garland and the Justice Department have done a very good job by following the facts. And it's not for me or members of Congress to say what should happen. It should be where the facts lead them. And they have been very methodical. They have not been quick to do anything, but it
You won't get jail time.
Shows that they are concerned that serious crimes were committed, and they're following the evidence. And now let's see what they end up doing. But I do think that this gives me confidence that the Justice Department is really pursuing this thoroughly, objectively, and in a non-political way.
Speaking of being non-political, I have to admit, you know, in many respects, my first thought when I heard this news is I wanted to congratulate the bipartisan January 6th committee. Do you believe that the efforts made by your colleagues on the January 6th committee, including Republicans and Democrats, and the enthusiasm and the hunger and the satisfaction that Americans have gotten from watching those hearings, do you think that had an influence on the aggressiveness with which we're seeing right now from the Department of Justice against the former president?
I think that had an impact on the country in understanding what happened, that it wasn't just about the riots and insurrection on the Capitol, that there was a plan to base.
All right, blah, 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 blah. Now it's just the hearsay shit. That was a huge fart. God damn. I thought that was going to be like a snapper. That was like shit, man. Yeah, I think I'm going to call it 8 at night. That video I did today was long as hell. Whole bunch of issues. And I'll be back tomorrow with more streams and videos. That video is going to be a banger. Have a good evening.